Welcome back, everyone, to this episode of Two Dudes Brew Reviews. We're here with the wonderful Oktoberfest Yuengling. It's a holiday brew. I'm Kyle.
I'm Heath.
And welcome back to another episode of Low Budget, High Hopes. We're excited for this one. It's getting into that holiday season once again.
The best season of all.
Yes, absolutely. 2020 has been a rough year. We all know that. I'm sure you've watched the news once, maybe.
I would hope you guys know what has been going on this whole entire year. If not, I'm so sorry you've been left out. We wear masks now. It's the new norm.
I don't know where mine are right now, but hey, it's my day off. I don't have to worry about that. Unless I go shopping or if I go to the bathroom or...
Alright, we're good.
We'll just do this whole episode with masks on.
Solid.
See his expressions better that way.
Now you guys can see if I'm smiling or crying or smiling.
I love the dog hair on that mask. It really sets the tone.
Alright, so yeah, the Oktoberfest, of course, it's only a seasonal brew. A lot of different brews only come out during, Oktoberfest, and I hate that it's only seasonal because they're usually really good beers. But the Yuengling Oktoberfest is very intriguing as well. It's nothing like normal Yuengling or the Flight Yuengling or the Porter Yuengling or Golden Yuengling. They have a lot of Yuenglings.
There's a
I
lot
didn't
of
realize
ying-
that.
There's a lot of yings and a lot of yangs.
You mean lings?
Lings.
Yeah.
I tried.
Alright, so you want to go ahead and pop these open, pour them, or
Yeah.
actually pop them, smell them, then pour them.
I gotta go find my bottle opener. My hands. My streak continues, sir.
My turn.
Okay.
I got this. I got this.
Okay. Find the strength, Heath. Find the strength. I'm deep. You gotta look deep within.
Dad, would you please open this for me?
There you go, sir. Let's
We're
get a
gonna
smell.
grab some
Before we
pickles.
pour these, let's get a smell test. Labels.
We're professionals.
We think we are. Some honey.
Spices.
It smells like your grandma's house during like a nice Thanksgiving dinner. All
Okay.
those like really heavy.
I wasn't sure where you're going with
Hey.
that because I immediately thought of like floral perfume, and I'm like,
No, this is like honey, wheat.
It's just like overall sweet. It's inviting.
It smells heavy, which is kind of comforting in a way. It doesn't smell like it's a light beer. It just smells like nice and full of carbs and goodness.
it smells amazing.
We all gain a lot of weight during the holiday season. At least I do. I don't know about you, but hey, if you don't, good. More power to you.
Alright, let's go ahead and pour these babies out and see how they look in the glass.
Absolutely. Cheers. Let's pour them out. Welcome back to Two Dudes Brew Reviews, and we're expecting DoorDash any minute. Okay, they're not here yet.
Can't wait for food.
Yes, breakfast.
Breakfast.
Anyways, as you can see, we got these beers poured into our glasses. It kind of looks like caramel water. If you just have like a nice big old cup full of water, I almost said caramel, and then you put a tiny bit of caramel in there and just stirred it up, kind of like a watery maple syrup. I mean, it just looks appetizing. What do you think, Heath?
I think it looks more like probably unsweet tea. I wouldn't say sweet tea, but probably unsweet tea if you didn't let the tea bag seep long enough. It's kind of like, oh, the water's kind of boiling, gotta pull it.
It's like a Lipton.
But yeah,
Like that fake Lipton
it has,
tea.
it has a
Sorry if
nice
you're
color
watching
to
Lipton.
it. As you saw when we poured it, I did have a nice head on here.
had
Kyle
none.
did not, unfortunately. Mine's barely there. He, like I said, doesn't have one.
It's very carbonated, though.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. And a lot of bubbles rising to the surface. I feel like we say effervescent way too much on this channel, but that's
You do.
okay. I do. There's no other way to describe it. You see a lot of tiny bubbles kind of erupting towards the surface. I mean, it's just effervescent. It's very carbonated, and I can switch to carbonated if you guys want me to. But anyways, yeah, this beer just looks appetizing. It looks like, just like I said, just some caramel water. So anyway, you want to go ahead and get a taste test on these bad boys and see what we're dealing with? All right, let's taste the holiday, sir. Wow.
Oh, that's very inviting. It's I don't know. It just gives me that like comfort feeling, like
Warm inside.
it's like a chilly fall day, and you're just like on the couch, windows open, kind of wrapped in a light blanket.
It's a cold day outside
Yeah.
in Florida for the 2 weeks of the year when it's kind of cold outside, and you got one of these in your hand, and you're like, wow, it's you know,
It's refreshing too.
it is. I would love to say that we'd have these by the fireplace, but it's Florida. Who has a fireplace or a basement, for that matter?
If you got a basement in Florida,
You're done.
yeah,
You're done.
how are you alive right now?
Florida man can't save you.
No. he only does evil chaos. But this is really, really good though.
It's just comforting. It's like crackers and caramel. There's some sort of like biscuitness to it too.
I feel like it would pair really well with like chili.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
I would
that
say-
nice meat savory, and then you got this. It's kind of like a bittersweet, kind of malty.
If you wanted to cook your like ground beef in this before you put it inside the chili, hey,
dude.
I wouldn't turn a blind eye towards that.
That sounds really good. I could probably do that this year.
But anyways, Yuengling, props to you on this one. I mean, I know we don't get this all times of the year like we should. But anyway, this is it's a really solid beer. I mean, it never gets too cold out in Florida, but when it does, you can just enjoy this and feel all warm and gushy inside.
Oh yeah, I like this a lot. Oh,
It's a very solid beer, especially for Yuengling.
it really just makes me want to open the windows. Not right now because it's Florida, but you know, open windows, nice chilly day. Put on some like slasher flicks or something, some sort of horror movie. Have some chili.
Or if you don't like horror movies, we're not going to judge you either way. You can watch a Christmas Story or Grinch. That movie only came out like 20 years ago.
Why would you watch that in October?
We're talking about getting into the cold season.
Yeah,
You're
Oktoberfest for October.
But anyways, you're gonna watch the slasher flicks, the silver screen. You're gonna watch Freddy and Jason, and then you're gonna slowly slip into Grinch territory, which could be a horror movie depending on how young you are.
It is pretty traumatizing.
Yeah, especially that scene with the door when they get to the top of the mountain.
Spoilers!
Wait, okay, spoiler alert. When they get to the top of the mountain in Grinch, and then the Grinch has that giant evil head come outside the door. It gave me night terrors when I was a kid, to be honest.
Yeah, just like when they all held hands and sang around the Christmas tree. That's what really scared me when I was
Pretty
younger.
sure I was like 8.5 when that movie came out. I saw it in theaters. So cheers, Jim Carrey, to the holidays.
Shoot Jim Carrey!
Any holiday, cheers to it. Let's go ahead and get
Right.
these bad boys
Yeah.
warmed up outside
Yep.
and see what we're dealing with.
Yep, so on to our next segment of letting these boys sit outside, get them warm, and see how they hold up after that.
Upon further review.
We're back with the Oktoberfest. The Oktoberfest! That's exciting!
Anyways.
Upon further review.
Upon further review.
Well, it's been about 20 minutes. What's your expectations from this?
If I'm being honest with you, generally speaking, over the course of the beers that we reviewed so far, they're not normally better when we leave them out in the Florida sun for half an hour. I'm just going to put that abruptly. But we're keeping our hopes up high as this segment denounces.
So you gotta have high hopes on a low budget.
A warm, low budget.
Ew.
Okay.
Alright, let's get this out of the way.
Let's see how it does. I
Ooh.
need another sip.
Ooh. Ooh, that aftertaste. There's something funky there.
It's funky.
There is something funky on
Play
that
that funky
aftertaste.
music, white boy. There is something funky about this. It's like... It's barely carbonated anymore. Out of all of the beers that we've had, aside from Steel Reserve and Natty Daddy...
I'm done with it.
Aside from Steel Reserve and Natty Daddy, Generally speaking, beers have been tolerable after they've been warmed up in the Florida sun. Rolling Rock was an exception. The Dragon's Milk was an exception. What was the third exception?
Dogfish Head.
And the Dogfish Head was an exception. This is not one of those exceptions.
No.
This is an exception in the land of lowliness.
It's like,
It's just nasty. It just tastes like you just like ran water through like the outside of a pumpkin with all the dirt and stuff on it. You poured water. You cut the pumpkin in half. That was dangerous. You cut the pumpkin in half, and then you just had the dirt all of on the outside of it, like it's fresh from the field, and you just poured water all over that pumpkin and let it drip into a cup.
And you just kind of like got a little bit of shavings from the pumpkin to put in there, just to be like,
they won't notice. Yeah, I mean it looks nice.
I don't vibe with it.
It looks okay, but I mean I would
Stop
put
lying
this.
to yourself.
I would put this somewhere in between Lysol and Pine Sol. I don't know if that's a good
Alright,
thing.
Pine Sol, baby.
So, anyways, bottle caps for the beer.
I mean, initial taste, I thought it was really, really good. You know, if we were just doing initial taste and that's it, I'd probably say, like at least 7, 8, somewhere around there.
Yeah.
But then we tried it when it was warm, and
That drastically lowered the score. You got exposed, Yuengling.
yeah,
This went from a semi-tolerable product back to Yuengling territory.
I thought it was a great product. Like I said, it's just one of those I could chill with, watch movies and whatnot. But now it makes me just want to go to bed.
For the first time ever, I'm giving 2 different bottle caps, one cold and one hot. Listen here. When this is cold, I'm giving it an 8 out of 10 bottle caps. Warm, it's getting nothing. 0 bottle caps. For the first time ever on 2 Dudes Brew Reviews, 0 bottle caps warm.
Okay. Alright, I
What about
follow
you?
suit. Yeah, cold. Freaking amazing, man. Go out there and buy some.
It was crispy.
I definitely, I'll give it a fair 7.5. You know, minor changes, but it's obviously on my end, so not every opinion is the same. Anyways, yeah, so not every opinion is the same. But once it got warm, I'm sorry, it's 0. There's no way that this beer can work when it's warm. This is definitely something that you need to drink while it's ice cold, like immediately. You do not want this to get warm.
As that viral video on YouTube once said, disgusting!
I thought you were gonna sing Gangnam Style.
Either or. Anyways, so Oktoberfest, you're a very strong product cold, you're drinkable, you taste
I'm
good.
gonna throw that 'cause I may have to
Tastes
turn it up.
like some biscuits and some caramel and some goodness, some weedy wholesomeness. But warm, it just tasted like glass cleaner and water and
disappointment.
maybe some white bread, some Wonder Bread thrown in the mix as well.
Nature's
And it
own.
lost. This beer lost more carbonation than most of the other brews we've ever had on this channel warm. So anyway, Yuengling, props to you. This beer is very good cold, but warm is a very, very different story.
Yeah. And I guess that'll do it for this episode. Thank you guys for watching this whole entire experience. Apologize if it's a little bit of a longer one, but whatevs. I hope you guys enjoyed it at least. If you guys want to see more content, not comment, but you can comment.
You can
If
comment.
you guys want to see more content, feel free to hit our subscribe button, hit the bell, so you can get notified when we publish all of our videos. And like I said, feel free to like, comment, and follow us on Facebook if you haven't yet. And if you're on Facebook, follow us on YouTube. So
And if you're
win-win
on
either
YouTube,
way.
follow us on Facebook.
Yeah.
And if you're on Facebook, follow us on YouTube.
Yeah.
And if you're on YouTube, follow us on Facebook.
Anywho, see you guys next time, alright?
Yeah, move out of the way, weaklings.
No, you're not. No, you're not.
You guys suck.